Welcome back to Central Valley Talk. Our next guest is here to talk about service dogs, talk about the industry, things that are happening in that industry, things that are happening in government. Welcome, Ed Crane.
Mike, it's great to be invited back.
Now, you have a business. Is it a business or?
Yeah, it's a nonprofit business. First of all, I'm here with my canine partner, my service dog, and his name is Zern.
Sorry, it's a new dog.
When I was last with you here, my previous partner was Alipo, who retired back in July of last year due to his age and some medical conditions, and went back to Canine Partners for Life in Cochranville, Pennsylvania, and they matched me with Zern, Cream Lab Retriever, and we've now been together for several months. And he helps me with my epilepsy.
Yeah, and that's what I found fascinating. Oh, there he is.
Yep.
He looks pretty
That's
relaxed.
Yes, yes, yes.
Now, the dogs like to do this work.
They love it. They
love to do
really,
the work.
truly do.
Yeah.
And they're trained to do so many things.
Now, how does he help you with the epilepsy?
Well, he was trained by Canine Partners for Life to be able to give me an advance warning prior to every seizure.
Like how much warning?
About 20 minutes.
Oh, my
Okay,
goodness.
so that he's my third dog who's been able to do this now for the past 15 years. And in that time, I haven't had a fall or injury. Okay.
Now, most people who have an epileptic seizure have no idea it's coming, right?
Well, prior to this, I had brain surgery performed in 2001. I had epilepsy for about 10 years before that. And then, of course, what would happen is I would lose consciousness and without any warning and hit whatever is around me on the way down. Many times I worked in the World Trade Center for over a decade. On the way down, I'd hit the desk or I'd hit the wall, and injuries and broken bones. Yeah.
So what a life-changing thing this is to have.
Yeah, it was. It absolutely changed my life forever. I went to Canine Partners for Life in 2001, and in the first interview, and I'm somebody with a tough memory, I've never forgotten that they introduced me to a couple of dogs just to get an idea of what these amazing dogs could do. And one of these dogs came over to me and started to rub his head on my knee. And the gal who was sitting next to me said, Mr. Crane, we need you to get up. And she signaled one of the other assistants there in the room to get a floor mat. And they had me go over and lay down. And about 20 or 25 minutes later, I had a grand mal seizure.
Oh, my goodness.
You know, it's the first time I experienced an advance warning. And that moment changed my life.
Wow. Now, I asked you this off the air, but we'll just pretend I haven't asked you any questions. You get a new dog, do you have to go get training with that dog?
What happened was when, we follow everything about our dogs throughout the years, their health and well-being, and we keep in touch with the organization. So we knew advance when Alipo was going to be retiring, and then I was put back on the list, the wait list, for the next potential dog, and went through the process again. And part of the process for training them to give me an advance warning was I sent them an undershirt that I was wearing when I had a seizure. And then they took Zern aside and they trained him to recognize that scent and then provide me an advance warning. Now that's simply, he comes over, whenever he rubs his head on my knees, I know that that's his warning.
That's
of a
what they
seizure.
taught him to do.
Correct.
Yeah, when
Correct.
he sends that. So each person might have a bit of a different scent.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So he learned on your scent.
And I've had an experience over these years where once was at an airport where I was walking with Alipo at the time, and he kind of pulled me in a direction of somebody sitting down, and he did the same thing. He rubbed her knees. And, I addressed the gal and I said, this is a little bit embarrassing, but I have my partner because of epilepsy, and that's the advance warning she have that he provides me. And he just did it to you, and that doesn't happen. And she said, I do suffer from epilepsy.
Oh, boy.
And I said, well, maybe you need to lay down. And she did lay down on the floor. We got some assistance at the airport, and she did experience a grand mal seizure. So
These dogs are heroes.
They are, and they're truly amazing.
Now, has he come into action for you since you've had him?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I suffer seizures on a daily basis.
Okay.
So I get the warnings, and I also, he has a harness on. I lose balance, again, because of my epilepsy and my brain. But I've learned over the years to always be holding that, and that has prevented falls and injuries for me.
Gives you a little balance.
Definitely.
Now, something's going on in the state. You're going to go testify, I guess.
Yeah, this legislation that is being reintroduced at this point, it's in the early stages in Sacramento.
It's been adopted a couple times.
Well, yeah, this is legislation that is termed as AB 169, and it's guide, signal, and service dog injury or deaths legislation. And this has come up to the previous governor twice, went through the Assembly and the Senate here, was approved, and the previous governor refused to sign it. Right now, there is a combination of organizations, not only service dogs, but the full spectrum of assistance dog organizations for those who have hearing disabilities or visual disabilities, who have been in touch. I've been in touch with more than several dozen organizations. I've already written several letters, one from myself and one from my organization. And we're working right now with Assemblyman Tom Lackey. He is the sponsor at this point, and we're going to meet with him in 2 weeks.
Okay.
That'll be the initial stage, but we're determined.
And what does legislation do?
Well, right now, there are loopholes in the legislation when there is an attack or injury on a service dog or any type of assistance dog. And what we're trying to do is close that. For example, something simple as a service dog in training that is injured or killed, that terminology is not in the legislation or not previously supplied. And again, you've got organizations such as an organization like Canine Partners, who raises and trains these dogs over a period of time. There's an investment there. It's important to the individual like myself. If I lost or had a dog had to retire due to an attack, it puts a big burden on there. And things that wouldn't have been covered are some of the medical expenses or loss of income or, a lot of terminology just wasn't there and it's there now, and it's important to get momentum to get this governor to sign it.
Okay. Well, I want you to keep us up to date on this as it moves along and any other issue. We're running short on time, but tell us about My Assistance Dog Inc.
Yes. My Assistance Dog Inc. is one of the largest. That's my nonprofit organization. We're an information site. We provide information about all aspects of assistance dogs, everything from the raising and training process, people who are interested in learning about these dogs, the process involved, organizations to go to, legal issues. We get involved in all of that. And in the 5 years we've been up and running, we are now probably in the top 3 information sites in the world providing that type of information. So
is most of the information on the website, myassistance.org?
On the website, plus as simply as an email, we get many emails a day with information specifically with what the individual is looking to find out. Probably today I had 4 or 5 emails with respect to somebody who had a sick service dog and was looking for financial assistance. Yeah. And I have resources that I can share with people just to make the process easier.
So epilepsy, people watching, if somebody has epilepsy, they have to be fascinated by this story, but also what do you call when you have the low blood sugar? The
diabetes.
Diabetes
alert.
Diabetes.
What we're able to do is, when I originally started searching for a dog back just after the year 2000, before surgery, it was a tough process. Every organization has great sites, but if you don't know which direction to go through, it becomes difficult. What we did was we've brought everything together, and we've made it easier for anybody who's interested in pursuing one of these dogs or has a question. We don't raise or train dogs at all, but we have the ability to respond in an email with information.
So if they go to that website, myassistancedoginc.org, they can find a place to email and ask questions?
Correct.
Are there resources on the site, too?
There are tremendous resources on the site there. At the same time, we're updating it on a regular basis. our Facebook page today alone, I shared information from over 140 assistance dog organizations around the world. We shared some legal issues that were in the news. So what we've done is brought everything together to one source.
Very good. Well, Ed Crane is with MyAssistanceDogInc.org, and he comes here every month or two and keeps us up to date and serves as a resource for our community. If you have questions about service dogs, for any question, crazy question, just email Ed Crane.
Be happy to help anybody we can.
All right. Anything else our viewers should know?
We are proud and happy to be here and appreciate your effort to help us get our word out.
Thanks, Ed. We'll be back with more Central Valley Talk right after this.